Okay, so it was a bit weird the way the season ended, but we are coming to the end of that now. What's the general feeling you get from everybody around the club?
Yeah, like you said, hopefully we're coming out of been a tricky period for not just for the football club, but probably for the whole country. It was strange times really, and playing that game at Notts County, and then really quickly after that, you're going into sort of a country lockdown. Yeah, we're positive that stuff's starting to move, for the whole country, but obviously in the football wise as well, back to hopefully some sort of normality. We know how the season's ending now, which was something we'd all been hoping for. Playoffs are going to go ahead, which is great for our league as well. And then now we can start preparing ourselves as well for what we want to do next season, because we've got a rough figure of when we'll be back in pre-season training now.
Yeah, so you mentioned preparing. When is that rough figure of coming back in?
Well, hoping, but it has to be everything with what's going on with the government at the moment, and the safety of no second spike and stuff like that. But we're hoping for September, October time start to the season. But like with everything that's going on with this, is evolving all the time. So as it stands right now, I'm hoping that we'll be able to do pre-season in August, but we'll just have to keep waiting in the coming weeks, and hopefully we'll get an update on it. And fingers crossed, like I said, that the whole country recovers from it. There's no more spikes or anything like that. I'm hopeful of a season starting September, but at the moment that's only a hopeful. We don't know 100% yet.
Yeah, and when we do start, we're going to have a brand new badge and a brand new look. Sort of how excited have you been about those designs? Are you impressed?
Yeah, I think they've been really good. Obviously, it was something that Ken and Tom showed me last season. Got asked my opinion on things and stuff like that, and I've sort of spoke about it and said, I didn't realise the badge before what it represented. I was a little bit worried that people would maybe not be open to changing just because of the tradition of it and stuff like that. But it seems, I think it just brings us into a more modern era. The time scale of it in terms of the Spitfire and having a date on it that's representative of when Derek Brooks started the club. I just think that's amazing to have, and I think I really think with the new kit we're going to have and the new badge, I'm hopeful the fans are really going to like it. And from what I've seen, on social media and stuff like that, I know it's only a small percent of what people think, but everyone seemed to be really positive about it, and I think everyone's seen it as a good thing.
Definitely. And another positive thing, the Scholars years both announced that they won their respective leagues. That must have been really good for them, and you must have been really impressed.
I think it just goes to show the hard work that's been done over a number of years now, but you look at the last 2 seasons now, that's both age groups winning their leagues. I think that's credit to obviously Jason's oversees all the work that he's done obviously since he's been at the football club, and helping me as assistant manager to me, and then being head of the youth team. He's been amazing for the football club. But also Luke, all the guys across there, Brooksy, Smithy, trying to think, I don't want to miss anyone out, but the work that they've done over the last couple of years, especially this season just gone, for both of them to win their leagues again. And it's exciting because I think we've got some real good young players coming through. It's not saying we haven't had good players coming through our youth products, but I think hopefully they're starting to see there's a pathway now. So local talent joining us. The introduction of this third year that we're going to be doing this next year is really going to be helpful for us, and we've already got some boys that we're really looking forward to seeing coming back pre-season. So I think the youth side of this football club hopefully is going to be a legacy that goes on for years and years, and it's going to be amazing for the club.
Definitely. The reason we're here today then, we're announcing 2 brand new signings, obviously Abdoulaye Baggy and Joe Tomlinson. You must be really happy getting those 2 in early.
Yeah, it's weird because obviously with everything that's gone on, the recruitment process has been quite hard. I wanted to get out to the second half of the season and the latter part of the season to watch games, but both with Bags and with Joe, and you'll see in the coming weeks hopefully a few others as well, that we got a chance to watch these boys. Bags, being honest, we went to watch a different lad playing for Weymouth, not last season, the year before, and he stood out when we watched him then. When we went and watched him again this season, he stood out as well. He's a real attacking threat, carries the ball really well, gives us another option in that final third. Over the last couple of years, we've not really had an attacking player that plays from the left or maybe in a hole like the Yates he did for us. Really pleased to get him over the line. I think it's helped in location of where we are, because there's been a lot of interest in him, and he had a real good season for Weymouth last year. He got 12 goals, I think it was, and 10 assists. And that's things that we want to add to the football team this year.
You spoke about Bags there, so Joe's got a lot of attacking quality as well as being a defender. Is that something that caught your eye when you had a look at him?
Yeah, I think I spoke to Joe as well. I've met him and his dad over the last couple of weeks. I think his quality on the ball is there for really evident to see, and he's an attack-minded fullback, but we're going to try and help him with his defensive side of the game as well. I felt that with stuff that's happened with Greener the last couple of years, in terms of a few of the injuries had and stuff, especially last season, we missed Greener for so much, a big part of the season. It was important that we start looking at if Greener's not going to be available, can they both play in the same team? Because he can play left back, left wing back, left midfield if I need him to. But he's right footed as well, so he can play on the right hand side. So he gives a cover in a lot of positions. He's another young lad that in the National South last year stood out. A lot of people spoke about him. His manager gave him a glowing reference to me as well when I spoke to him a couple of months ago now. And it's just another young, exciting, I would say he's local, he's still a little bit away, but he's another local lad and hopefully someone that the crowd are going to take to. And I want Greener to be injury free next season. It's going to be a big thing for us. We missed him, I think it was 5-6 months we was out without him last year. But couldn't have another situation this year where I was playing, Cav at left back or a right back playing at left back and stuff like that. It was really mix and match at times in our full back area. So it's making sure we've got players that can do a job in a few different positions, and Joe does that, being made to play left back, left wing back on the right if we need him, and Bags does as well. Bags can play anywhere across the attacking area, so these boys are coming in and adaptable to whatever team we play or formation we play.
Perfect. Just finally, it's a long summer ahead still. Are you still looking at ways to strengthen the squad, or are you happy with what you've got? No,
we still are. We're hopeful of being able to announce another player in the next week or so, but we're working hard on that behind the scenes. Hopefully we'll be able to give you a bit more of an update on that. And then this sort of, although I've got targets, it's a little bit difficult with getting start dates on contracts and stuff like that. So we'll be working hard on it, but I'll be probably guided by when we know when we're going to be definitely coming back. But we still are going to be adding to look to areas. I was really keen on trying to keep a nucleus of a squad together. Sort of covered it in a bit of the retained and release list and stuff we did. People didn't know it, but we handed out 1-year contracts last year, but we had made it incentive based, so they had to play a certain amount of games appearances to activate further years, and lots of the boys did that, so we had covered ourselves, so a lot of the renegotiations were quite easy. A few boys have moved on, which is obviously part and parcel of football, and we wish them the best as well. But we'll be needing to add to the areas in the team to strengthen them as well. Hasn't been announced yet, but Boise's agreed to stay. He wanted to stay Boise. It was just in terms of location. He's a northern lad and stuff like that, so we had to make sure it was right for him to be here for another year. And luckily, we've been able to do that behind the scenes, and he's chose to stay with us for another year. And unfortunately, Max won't be with us next season. I think I can talk about that. I think it's going to be announced as well. Max won't be staying with us this season. Obviously, come on loan to us from Sunderland, done extremely well. Not last year, the year before. Before he went back to them, and then even last year, he's a young goalkeeper. He pulled off some great saves for us, and we wish him all the best in his future and stuff like that. And whether he chooses to stay in Poland or whether he comes back and plays in England, hopefully for him, he wants to play in the Football League. We wish him the best with that. But I'm pretty upfront and clear with stuff that I want to do. I'm not going to beg players to play for this football club. You either want to be here or you don't. You want to play for Eastleigh. You want to give your best for the team, and if someone's a little bit, I'm not sure about being here or not being here, then simple as that, they're not the players for me. So I want people to know that whoever's joining us, players reactivate, and they wanted to be at this club, and the players signing for us, they've had other options, they want to come to us, and that's what my recruitment will be the next coming weeks as well. Where the other boys are trying to get in, if I sit down and speak to them and talk to them about coming to Eastleigh, they've got to want to be here and want to be with us. That's a big part for me. If you want to be here, I'm going to work with you and do well. And we know we've got a big season ahead next year. I want to do better than we did this year. I wasn't pleased with the season this year. I want to get back up the league. It's going to be difficult for everyone this summer. I'm not making excuses for us. It's going to be difficult for every club this summer and everything that's gone on in the past couple of weeks. But I'm positive with the route we're going down in our recruitment. Truthfully, we'd have been going down that route anyway, regardless of what this stuff was. I wanted to get a few more younger bodies into the group, a few more local lads as well, because seen with people like Rob Atkinson and Sam Smart last year, the fans love them types of boys, young lads that want to do well for this club, and that's what we're going to be doing and moving forward, trying to do that as well in the next coming weeks. So hopefully there'll be some more positive news to put out there.